I betrayed my devoted husband, Daniel, and ended up marrying the man I cheated with, Ethan. For years, I convinced myself I had moved on, building a life I thought was mine, until fate delivered a twist sharp enough to cut me open. My closest friend, Sarah, the one I trusted like a sister, had married Daniel. And I separated in 2019. At the time, it felt like the only choice. During those early pandemic months, he discovered my affair with Ethan, a bartender I convinced myself I loved more than the man who had stood by me for years. When Daniel confronted me, I didn't lie or soften the truth. I admitted everything and told him plainly that I no longer loved him and wanted out. What stunned me wasn't his anger. There was none. He handled it with a dignity that left me ashamed. Our divorce was calm, civilized, with no court battles, no tug-of-war over possessions. We untangled our lives and walked away. He moved 2 hours away for a new job and pursue his PhD, while I stayed behind with Ethan. We agreed to remain polite, but distant. I tried to maintain a thread of connection. Birthday texts, Christmas greetings, even a small congratulatory gift when he earned his doctorate. Daniel never responded. Not once. No text, no call, not even a simple thank you. For anyone else, I might have shrugged it off, but Daniel wasn't anyone else. He had always been the kind of man who sent handwritten notes, who never failed to acknowledge even the smallest gesture. I knew he still did, because my parents and his brother received them. Yet I got nothing. It stung, though I told myself he needed space. Meanwhile, life with Ethan was hectic. He already had 2 children from a previous marriage. And when I became pregnant, our home became a whirlwind of responsibilities. My friendship with Sarah, once my anchor, grew quieter. She was an attorney, often buried in cases, and teaching part-time at the university. She had phases where she disappeared into new romances. So when her messages slowed, I didn't push. The last one, sometime in early 2022, mentioned stress at work. I assumed we'd reconnect when things calmed down. The following summer, Ethan and I traveled to Daniel's city. I tried reaching out to Sarah, hoping for coffee or lunch, but she didn't respond. I felt disappointed but not surprised, so I met other friends instead. Months later, at a Thanksgiving gathering with old college friends, the truth shattered everything. I spotted Sarah across the room, radiant in an elegant dress, a drink in hand. When I greeted her, she hugged me quickly, awkwardly. I kept the conversation casual. "I tried calling you this summer," I said with a smile. She hesitated, then answered flatly, "I was on my honeymoon." "Honeymoon?" My chest tightened. "You got married?" She nodded, guarded. "Yes." "To who?" I asked, still half expecting some stranger's name. Her next words hit me like a hammer. "It's Daniel." The room spun. I could barely breathe. "What? But you never said." She cut me off sharp. "Don't act shocked. You broke him. We didn't start talking until years after your divorce. You left him for some guy at a bar. Don't pretend you have the right to feel hurt." Her words were harsh, yet true. Still, they burned deeper than I anticipated. I spent the rest of the weekend drowning in drinks, thoughts spinning. My best friend was married to the man I had once promised forever. The man I betrayed, the man whose silence still haunted me. Returning home, I wasn't the same. I grew restless with Ethan, snapping at him as children, withdrawing into old photo albums I hadn't touched in years. I remember Daniel's warm smile, his quiet steadiness, the way he kissed my forehead when I felt fragile, or held me silently when life became too heavy. His absence suddenly felt like an unhealed wound. After weeks of distance, Ethan confronted me. Our argument erupted like wildfire. I confessed that I had learned about Sarah and Daniel's marriage and how much it rattled me. Ethan didn't flinch. He laughed, bitter and cold. "I've known for months. It's all over their social media. You just didn't want to see it." His words enraged me. I accused him of keeping it from me, letting me spin in confusion. His voice turned icy. "Do you still love him?" "No." I shot back instinctively, though my voice shook. "Then why does this destroy you?" he asked, eyes cutting into me. If you didn't still feel something, it wouldn't eat you alive. We fought until morning. Exhausted and numb, I left for work and stayed at my sister's house for a few days. Returning, nothing had changed. The tension hung heavy in the air. Another argument erupted, and Ethan accused me of emotional cheating. "You act like you lost everything," he said bitterly. His words cut deep because he was right in a way. I snapped back, saying things I regretted instantly. I called him shallow, incapable of understanding real bonds. Cruel and unfair, yet I couldn't stop the torrent of anger. That night, alone in the dark, I replayed my choices. I had traded something deep and steady for something thrilling but shallow. Daniel had offered a love rooted in loyalty, tenderness, and quiet strength. I had abandoned it for a spark I mistook for passion. And now Sarah lived the life I had cast aside. The notes, the gentle affection, the security of being loved by someone who truly knew me. Karma didn't strike with fire or drama. It arrived quietly as a hollow ache. The punishment was simple. I was erased from the lives of the two people I had once trusted most, my husband and my best friend, left alone to stare at the ruins of my choices, wondering if I had thrown away the only love that had ever truly mattered.